It sure is a wet and gloomy day for a lot of our state, and we're expected to see some powerful wind today. Live look right now at Kennebunk Beach. As you can see, the water is rough right now, a little choppy, and strong winds could bring power outages to a number of our counties today. So let's kick things off this hour with meteorologist Ryan Breton. Hi, Ryan.
Hey there, Brian. The rain is here and the wind is going to be picking up over the next couple of hours. 51 degrees right now in the rain in Portland. It's really just going to be a few-hour period for the strongest gust that moves from west to east across the state, the wind coming up from the south over the next few hours. Between now and about 3 or 4 in southern Maine and then through the afternoon in eastern Maine, some power outages are likely. And even though we have rain and significant snowmelt, the flood risk this time is low. There will be some poor drainage flooding, but this is a quick moving system, so rain is not really the big concern here. All of this action out ahead of this cold front that's going to be moving through over the next several hours. The strongest winds will be right before the front gets there. You can almost make out a squall line there in Vermont, and that's what's going to keep moving east through the afternoon. Out ahead of it, very heavy rain in spots now. The yellows here on the radar indicating some downpours to the north of Portland. We have some south of Portland as well, but some real heavy rain here moving through the Oxford Hills. Eastern Maine rain beginning to pick up. Some downpours around Belfast are headed toward Bangor. Look at the temperatures, up to 53 in Bangor, 50 in Lewiston. We're at 51 in Portland. Down in the Mount Washington Valley, the cold holding on strong, 38. That will also cap the strongest winds from getting down into the valley there. So over the next few hours, you see all of this moves to the east. There's the front at 4 o'clock, slicing right through central and southern Maine. Then it keeps shifting east from there. By 6 o'clock, the strongest winds over down east Maine. The power outage threat ending to the south as those winds kick around to the west. The wind really is the big story here this afternoon, and for much more on that, let's send things outside. Dana Osgood is on the weather deck. First off, Dana, what's it looking like out there and what are we in for?
So Ryan, I am getting a little bit of a buffer right now from the building just based on the wind direction, but I would say right now it's not raining incredibly hard, but it's certainly windy. You can see the flags in the background moving, you can see my hood moving around a little bit, and the winds are, wow, all right, that's a big one right there, are only expected to increase as the front gets a little bit closer. So right now our wind gusts are upwards of 25, 30 miles an hour if we want to take max 2, so we can see some of those wind gusts currently. Perhaps not. All right, Brian. So right now outside, again, we're currently seeing some pretty high wind gusts, but they're only going to continue to increase as this front gets a little bit closer. There we go. All right, so our current wind gusts right now, most of us seeing wind gusts between 30 and almost up to 40 miles per hour at this time. And again, they are only expected to continue to increase over the next few hours. So the brunt of this storm has already gone through Vermont. Therefore, they are currently seeing just under 14,000 outages. And Maine right now only seeing about 130, but again, those will continue to increase as the cold front gets a little bit closer to us. So in the Portland area, those wind gusts are expected to peak between 1 and 2 p.m. And then in areas of the mid-coast, it's going to be a little bit later as this front moves from west to east across the state. So areas of the mid-coast will see their outage risk peak between 2 and 3 p.m. And then areas of down east a little bit later, closer to 4 or 5 p.m. So Brian, I'm going to have more updates from out here on the weather deck in the next half hour. We'll keep you updated, of course, about the wind, the power outage threat, and the rain.
All right, Dana and Ryan, our thanks to you. We'll check in with you throughout the next hour. Now, we talked about outages, of course. Maine's largest power companies say they are staffing extra people through the weekend. If you do lose power at some point today, know that it may take a little time for it to come back on. Central Maine Power says crews are prohibited from raising the bucket truck arms when the wind speeds are greater than 30 miles an hour. And you saw what Ryan and Dana were talking about. Versant Power follows similar guidelines. If you have to go out tonight and come across any downed wires or trees, leave those alone, call a professional. Representatives from both agencies also say now is the time to prepare for potential problems tied to this storm, and that would include having water and shelf-stable food at your home, making sure your cell phone, of course, is charged in case you need it for an emergency. Have extra flashlights and batteries, and have a plan if you or someone you know has special medical needs that would rely on power.